The reference for the world of ultra trail races. It is a reference race, if it isn't the reference race in the world of ultra trail running at an international level. For a trail runner, the UTMB is like the Olympic Games or the Football World Cup.
It's kind of a dream race.
This dream race begins here in Chamonix, the UTMB, the original race and queen of the North Face Ultra Trail du Mont-Blanc. A race around the highest European summit, 166 kilometres crossing France, Italy and Switzerland to be completed. On the programme, some 9,500 metres of positive height gain. For this, the 9th year, there are more than 2,300 participants. A human adventure which is bringing together 62 different nationalities. The aim of all these trail runners is to cross the finishing line within the time, less than 46 hours. The favourites will take much less time. Among them, the last two winners, the Englishman Jez Bragg for the men, and for the women, Lizzy Hawker, also British. But for many, the big favourite this year is a Spaniard, Kilian Jornet, who has already won the event twice, in 2008 and 2009. The UTMB has changed my life because it was my first long-distance trail. Before, I had only run marathons. And more than that, from a personal point of view, this race means a lot to me because it proved that I was capable of running long-distance trails. Since then, I have been totally committed to trail running.
The premier trail race in the world. I think in the 8 years it's been running, it's gained the recognition and the credibility very quickly.
I try not to think about the competition, and for me it's important just to run with passion and with my heart, and to run the best that I can at every moment, and to try and get everything out of myself during the race. And if I can do that, then that's all I can ask, and then what happens, happens.
The interest is really to indulge oneself. We find ourselves confronting the mountain, confronting the elements. If we are not ready to be in harmony, in osmosis with the mountain, to above all enjoy oneself, I think that the mountain makes us pay. And when we have to pass by the till, it is expensive. Very, very expensive. The rain was invited for the start of the race. The umbrellas have come out, and the participants must be patient. A wait which allows them to become soaked with the atmosphere and to measure the scale of the adventure which awaits them. For my first UTMB, this is very impressive. Certainly cold at altitude, wind and maybe some snow. We'll soon see. Planned for 18:30, the start of the race will take place 5 hours later, in the middle of the night. It is 23:30 when finally 2,369 trail runners set off with the encouragement of thousands of spectators. It is a black night. The head torch is indispensable. The ground is slippery. One has to economise to get over it. After 8 kilometres, it is already the first refreshment post at Les Houches. The rain persists. It is cold, conditions which clearly affect the well-being of the runners. The refreshment post, an indispensable stage to show that we are advancing to regain some strength. At Les Termine, 3 hours into the race, the first runners want to lose the least time possible.
Et on a des concurrents qui vont arriver, donc on va avoir des concurrents qui vont arriver toute la nuit. On espère que vous allez être présents avec nous.
We are in the middle of the night, and nevertheless, at the edge of the road, the Savoyards continue to relentlessly encourage the runners. At Les Chapieux, after 5 hours and 50 kilometres on the race, 4 men are in the lead, 3 Spaniards and a Frenchman. The favourite, Kilian Jornet, is one of them. Already the gap widens from those following. The Japanese Kaburaki, third in 2009, is placed 28 minutes behind the leaders. To encourage, rally round, comfort these athletes of the impossible, there are more than 1,800 volunteers. It is they who at the 26 refreshment points have to find the words of encouragement. Throughout the race HQ follows the trailers attentively. It is from here that we receive all the information.
Ultra-trail du Mont-Blanc, PC course à Chamonix, bonjour.
All the participants are equipped with an electronic chip which shows their location about every 7 or 8 kilometres throughout the route. All this is transmitted by an internet server which is consulted here by the race HQ.
Champé pour PC course, champé pour PC course.
Concorrente previsto intorno alle 6-20 minuti massimo.
The 4 men in the lead go up in altitude. With the height gain, the snow appears. They arrive at the Col de la Seigne at 0612 as day breaks. How's it going, Seb? For the moment, okay. I'm surprised to be here. I know that later it's going to be fast. I'll let it happen. How was the night? Good. Shorter than usual, so that was good.
Allez, bon courage, bravo!
Going up Montfavre is where Kilian Jornet plays with his opponents. He accelerates and widens the gap with Iker Karrera and Sebastien Chaigneau, but the Spaniard stops his push forward and lets his pursuers catch up. They are still the four who lead the race. The first woman arrives at the top of the col. Lizzy Hawker is 15th overall, only 40 minutes behind the leaders. Reaching the end of the night to see dawn break, crossing a col, a difficulty which cheers one up, which helps to forget the fatigue. For many, this arrival at the Col de la Seigne will remain one of the big moments of this event. Most are already way behind the men at the head of the race, but for the majority, position is not important. What counts is encountering the elements alone, together, to live in communion with nature. while a long single file stretches towards the Col du Bonhomme, 33 kilometres ahead. The leaders arrive in Courmayeur, Italy. They continue to widen the distance. After 9 hours of running, the 4 men in the lead are at the midpoint of the race. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. They have 5 minutes advance on those following them. The refreshment point at Courmayeur gives the runners a chance to change. They exchange their nighttime clothing for that which is lighter and dry for the day. The climb up to the Grand Col Ferret, situated at 2,537 metres altitude, 10 kilometres of ascension, probably the most difficult of the event. There are now only 3 men in the lead. The Frenchman Sebastien Chaigneau shows the strain 4 minutes behind. If the Spaniards don't appear to be suffering, it is not the case for the other participants. After 10 hours running, organisms begin to tire, legs are heavy and bodies begin to react. Luckily, doctors are at hand to treat that which hurts.
À 10 heures, après 10 heures, j'ai vomi, ouais.
À 10 heures, t'as vomi. Là, t'as vomi un peu à Courmayeur, là.
Non, juste ici, dans la montée.
Dans la montée, ouais.
Voilà. Tac. Tiens.
Voilà.
Among the 3 race leaders, Miguel Herrás tires. His meniscus is hurting. Behind, Sebastien Chaigneau. He is on his own. Iker Karrera and Kilian Jornet get loose. Together, they cross the Grand Col Ferret. Miguel Herrás is 1 minute behind. Sebastien Chaigneau, 2 minutes. The gap widens further. The Hungarian Nemeth Saba arrives at the top of the col 18 minutes later. Then it is the American Mike Wolf, second last year. After 13 hours of the race and the physical difficulties, Jean-Yves Ray is concerned about his equipment.
J'ai perdu ma veste, chier. Ah non, elle est là, elle est là. C'est bon. Ça va? Ça a été?
Allez, lâche pas. Allez, bravo.
At this moment, 12 kilometres separates the race leader from the first woman, still Lizzy Hawker, who arrives at the refuge Bonati. At Pras de Four, the group of four has reformed, but going up to Champerx-Lac, the Frenchman Sebastien Chaigneau is once again left behind. Despite the encouragement from numerous spectators, Miguel Heras is still suffering from his painful meniscus. For these men, the refreshment point is very welcome. Quench one's thirst, have a bite to eat, regain one's strength, a moment of comfort and conviviality with the volunteers and other trailer runners. Kilian waits for us all along the way. He makes the ascents and different parts running, and hop, he waits for us, he sits down, he is just jogging. A jog longer than expected. The very bad conditions during the night prohibit the access to Bovine. A detour by Martigny is necessary. Then after Vallorcine and the Col des Montes, to gain a little time, the UTMB is not going up either to the Tête au Vent or to Flégère. This year, the Ultra Trail du Mont-Blanc is 171 kilometres rather than 166. The trail runners return to Chamonix via Argentière and the Petit Balcon Sud. They are then an hour from the finishing line. It is at this moment that Kilian Jornet decides to go it alone. He leaves behind him without difficulty those who accompanied him on the adventure. At Chamonix, it is an impressive crowd which waits for the 23-year-old champion after 20 hours and 30 minutes of effort. That was a beautiful race, very good for me. I shall keep in my memory for a very long time the sunrise at the Seine. It was a magical moment, really incredible colours with the sun, the moon and the clouds. Beyond that, I'm really satisfied to have run the whole race with my friends Iker Karrera, Miguel Heras and Sebastien Chaigneau. Behind the Spaniard, his compatriot Iker Karrera arrives almost 9 minutes later. Then it is Sebastien Chaigneau, the Frenchman's turn to cross the finishing line, 19 minutes behind the winner. The first woman, Lizzy Hawker, arrives 4 hours 25 minutes after Kilian Jornet, 13th overall. It is the fourth time that she is the first woman. We haven't stopped even to sleep, and it's beginning to become necessary. Look after wounds, have a bite to eat and leave. You mustn't go over the limit of 45 hours. The last to leave is Spanish, like the winner. For him, the road is still long.
Volevo fare questa avventura, veramente. Ho sempre sognato di fare il giro del Monte Bianco, ma in un'unica tappa era non solo un'esperienza naturalistica, ma anche un'avventura. Fantastico, fantastico. Mai più però.
I wanted to see what it was, the UTMB, because for any trail runner, it is a summit.
My first ultra trail of Mont-Blanc. I think it will be the only one.
First and last time.
Why?
No more.
Why?
Oh,
It's just straight away.
it's the worst nightmare of my life.
Really? Why? And what about all the mountain you've seen?
Ah,
the
beautiful.
paths you've seen?
Beautiful, but
Beautiful.
I'll watch them from the bus in future.
Yeah, okay.
C'est un plaisir égoïste, je suis tout seul à faire cette course.
It's a great personal pleasure. I'm completely alone in this race. Why am I doing it? When you take in the scenery, it's magic. The people we meet, it's fantastic. You go to the extreme, completely freak out, go right to your limits. You feel so alive, really alive. And then I'm dead. I really don't feel like doing this race again. I've told myself 20,000 times that I will never do this race again. And then finally, I know I will do it again once I've gone over the finishing line. I'll be over the moon. If I had to show the strength I have to pass someone, I can never convince my wife this stupidity. She keeps telling me each time, if you're suffering, you've got to stop. And in fact, the goal of this race is to say that if you're suffering like hell, then you're doing fine. And now I'm getting there. I'm suffering.
Je me suis endormi tout à l'heure. Je suis tombé.
Ouais, t'es endormi. Et quand tu t'es réveillé, qu'est-ce que t'as vu?
Eh bien, une demoiselle qui est venue me réveiller. Mais c'était pas une hallucination.
C'était dur parce qu'il a fait froid.
It was real hard because it was cold, it was windy, snowing, hailing, freezing. It was snowing and sunny at the same time, and after a bit it tires you out. But it was real good anyway. There's a moment at the top of the Col de Bonhomme, which is hell for a lot of runners, even if it is not fine weather. It's real fine anyway.
Sous le ciel bleu et sous la neige, qui était vraiment, qui a démarqué beaucoup de coureurs, je pense. Donc voilà, même quand il fait pas beau, en fait, c'est beau quand même.
Hello.
T'as emmené des M&M, ça.
Ah, c'est gentil, je mangerai peut-être en bas.
C'était musclé, hein. Et hier soir, Grand Col Ferret, pareil, remis la totale, sur pantalon et tout, il faisait glacial là-haut, il y avait du brouillard. Enfin, grosse condition quand même.
Ça va?
Parfait. 2 nuits sans dormir, tout va bien. Ciao.
2 nights without sleeping, it is necessary to dig deep inside to go to the limit of one's effort and at last find deliverance.
Spring ding ding. It's a beautiful day.
Of the 2,369 trail runners, less than half, 1,139, reach their goal, the reward of years of training and sacrifice, and all are gathered on Sunday to congratulate the fastest, Kilian Jornet.